Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to 90 Day Fiancé latest news updates.
Jenny Slatten and Sumit Singh have one of the most talked about, emotionally complex, and long-running love stories in the entire 90 Day Fiancé franchise. Their journey has never been simple. It has been filled with cultural clashes, family opposition, age differences, trust issues, long-distance struggles, and moments that made fans question whether their relationship could survive in the real world. After Josher Day, Fiancé the Other Way, Season 7, many viewers are still asking the same question. What is the real status of Jenny Slatten and Sumit Singh now? To understand where Jenny and Sumit stand after Season 7, it is important to look beyond the surface-level drama shown on television. Their story did not begin on camera, and it certainly did not end when the season wrapped. Their relationship has evolved over many years, shaped by personal sacrifices, social pressure, and a level of commitment that few couples in the franchise have demonstrated. Jenny Slatten, an American woman who moved to India for love, first entered Sumit Singh's life online. What began as a digital connection eventually turned into a deep emotional bond. However, from the very beginning, their relationship was marked by secrecy and deception. Sumit initially hid his true identity, and later, the shocking revelation that he was already married became one of the most controversial moments in 90 Day Fiancé's history. Despite this betrayal, Jenny chose to stay, believing that their connection was real and worth fighting for. As the seasons progressed, viewers watched Jenny repeatedly uproot her life in the United States to be with Sumit in India. She left behind her family, financial security, and familiar culture to adapt to a society that often viewed her relationship with skepticism. The age difference between Jenny and Sumit became a constant source of criticism, particularly from Sumit's parents, who strongly opposed the relationship. Their disapproval was not subtle, it was vocal, emotional, and deeply rooted in traditional expectations. By the time The Other Way Season 7 aired, Jenny and Sumit were no longer just a controversial couple trying to survive. They were a married pair attempting to build a stable life together in India. Their marriage, which had been delayed for years due to family pressure and legal complications, marked a major turning point. For many fans, it symbolized the ultimate proof that their love was genuine. For others, it raised new questions about whether marriage alone could solve their deeper issues. Season 7 highlighted the reality that marriage did not magically erase their problems. Jenny struggled with feeling accepted in Indian society, while Sumit continued to face emotional conflict between his loyalty to his wife and his obligation to his parents. The tension between personal happiness and cultural responsibility became one of the defining themes of their storyline. One of the most significant aspects of Jenny and Sumit's post-Season 7 status is their approach to independence. Throughout their journey, they relied heavily on external validation, whether from family approval or public opinion. After Season 7, there was a noticeable shift in how they presented themselves. They appeared more focused on living life on their own terms, rather than constantly trying to justify their choices to others. Financial stability has also been a recurring concern. Jenny's retirement income and Sumit's work situation have often been discussed by fans. Life in India is more affordable than in the United States, but it still requires careful planning. After Season 7, the couple seemed more realistic about budgeting, daily expenses, and long-term sustainability. Rather than chasing unrealistic dreams, they began emphasizing a simpler lifestyle built around companionship rather than material success. Emotionally, Jenny has shown growth. In earlier seasons, she was often portrayed as reactive and overwhelmed by cultural shock. Post-Season 7, she appears more grounded and confident in her role as Sumit's partner. She no longer seems to be waiting for permission to exist in India. Instead, she presents herself as someone who has accepted the consequences of her choices and is determined to move forward. Sumit, on the other hand, continues to walk a complicated emotional line. While he has clearly chosen Jenny as his life partner, his bond with his parents remains a sensitive topic. Indian family dynamics place a strong emphasis on filial duty, and breaking away from parental expectations can come with lifelong emotional consequences. After Season 7, Sumit appears more resigned than conflicted, accepting that he may never receive full approval, but choosing love regardless. Public perception of Jenny and Sumit has also evolved. Initially, they were one of the most criticized couples in the franchise. Many viewers doubted Sumit's intentions and questioned Jenny's judgment. Over time, however, opinions softened. Fans began to recognize the consistency of their commitment. While flawed, their relationship has endured longer than many others featured on the show. Social media presence plays a role in understanding their real status. After Season 7, both Jenny and Sumit continued to share glimpses of their daily life together. These moments, while curated, suggest a sense of normalcy rather than constant chaos. Cooking meals, celebrating small milestones, and spending quiet time together, paint a picture that contrasts sharply with the dramatic narrative often highlighted on television. It is also important to acknowledge that 90 Day Fiancé is a reality show, and editing plays a major role in shaping storylines. The conflicts shown on screen are real, but they are often amplified for entertainment. Off-camera relationships can be far more nuanced. Jenny and Sumit's post-season 7 life appears less about explosive drama and more about steady coexistence. That does not mean their challenges have disappeared. Cultural integration remains an ongoing process. Acceptance from extended family may never fully happen. Financial uncertainty still exists. Aging, health, and long-term planning are realities that cannot be ignored. However, what sets Jenny and Sumit apart is their willingness to confront these issues together, rather than walking away. Another key element of their current status is how they define success. In a franchise often driven by luxury visas and idealized romance, Jenny and Sumit represent a different version of love, one that is imperfect, inconvenient, and deeply human. Their success is not measured by wealth or approval, but by endurance. After season 7, there has been no definitive sign that Jenny and Sumit are heading toward separation. On the contrary, all visible indications suggest that they remain together, navigating life as a married couple in India. While they may not live a fairy tale life, they appear committed to making their relationship work within the reality they have chosen. In conclusion, the real status of Jenny Slatten and Sumit Singh after 90 Day Fiancé, the other way season 7 can be described as stable, resilient, and evolving. They are not free from conflict, but they are no longer defined by constant crisis. Their relationship has matured into something quieter yet stronger, a partnership built on years of struggle, sacrifice, and choice. As we move forward from where part 1 ended, it becomes clear that Jenny Slatten and Sumit Singh's story after 90 Day Fiancé the other way, season 7 is no longer just about survival. It is about adaptation. The cameras may have stopped rolling, but the real test of their relationship began once the spotlight faded and everyday life took over. One of the biggest shifts after season 7 is how Jenny and Sumit deal with conflict. In earlier seasons, disagreements often escalated quickly, fueled by outside pressure from family members, cultural misunderstandings, and unresolved resentment. Post-season 7, there is a noticeable change in how they communicate. Arguments still exist, but they appear more contained, more private, and less performative. This suggests a couple that has learned, sometimes painfully, that not every battle needs an audience. Jenny's sense of belonging in India has also evolved. In the beginning, she often felt isolated, relying almost entirely on Sumit for emotional support. After season 7, she appears to have developed a stronger sense of independence. Whether through forming friendships, learning more about local customs, or simply becoming comfortable navigating daily life on her own, Jenny no longer seems like a visitor waiting to return home. India has become her chosen home, not just a temporary sacrifice for love. Sumit's role within the relationship has also matured. For years, he was caught between fear and loyalty, fear of disappointing his parents and loyalty to Jenny. After season 7, Sumit seems more decisive. While the emotional weight of family disapproval still exists, he no longer appears paralyzed by it. This shift is crucial because indecision was one of the biggest threats to their relationship in the past. Another important factor in understanding their real status is how they manage expectations. Early on, Jenny hoped for full acceptance from Sumit's family, while Sumit hoped time would magically fix everything. After season 7, both seem to have accepted a harder truth. Complete approval may never come. Instead of chasing an ideal outcome, they focus on what they can control, their commitment to each other, and the life they are building together. Health and aging have also become more relevant topics. Jenny is at a stage in life where stability and healthcare matter deeply. Living abroad presents unique challenges, from access to medical services to long-term planning. After season 7, these concerns are no longer abstract. They are practical realities the couple must address together. This adds another layer of seriousness to their relationship. Moving it far beyond reality TV, romance. Financial responsibility continues to be a central issue. Unlike many 90 Day Fiancé couples who chase fame or brand deals, Jenny and Sumit live relatively modestly. Their post-season 7 lifestyle suggests a focus on sustainability rather than spectacle. This grounded approach may not be glamorous, but it reflects a relationship rooted in realism rather than fantasy. Public attention has also changed. While they remain recognizable figures within the 90 Day Fiancé fandom, the intensity of scrutiny has lessened. This reduction in pressure allows their relationship to exist more authentically. Without the constant need to explain or defend themselves, Jenny and Sumit appear more relaxed, more natural, and more emotionally aligned. Another subtle but important shift is how they define partnership. Earlier seasons often portrayed Jenny as the one making sacrifices, while Sumit struggled to meet her halfway. After season 7, the balance appears more even. Decisions are framed as mutual choices rather than unilateral compromises. This sense of shared responsibility strengthens their bond and reduces resentment. It is also worth noting how their story contrasts with newer couples in the franchise. Many relationships introduced later burn brightly and fade quickly. Jenny and Sumit's story, by comparison, feels slow, heavy, and deeply layered. Their longevity alone sets them apart. Surviving years of opposition, public criticism, and personal mistakes requires more than attraction. It requires endurance. Despite all this growth, uncertainty remains part of their reality. Immigration options, long-term residency, and future caregiving responsibilities are unresolved questions. However, what makes their post-season 7 status notable is not the absence of problems, but their willingness to face those problems together rather than avoiding them emotionally. Their bond appears less volatile and more stable. Love, in their case, has shifted from dramatic declarations to quiet consistency. This transformation may not make for explosive television, but it reflects a relationship that has moved beyond the need to prove itself. For fans wondering whether Jenny and Sumit's journey was worth it, Jenny and Sumit's love story stood apart from other couples in the franchise. If success is measured by approval, Jenny, an older American woman, fell in love with Sumit, falls short. A much younger Indian man, defined by commitment, online, growth, and persistence, what initially appeared to be a sweet, relationship cross-cultural romance quickly turned into one of the most complex narratives in reality television. That Jenny Slatten and Sumit Singh remained together and intense family opposition created their life in India as a married couple would never survive. Their relationship is no longer about fighting the world. It is about maintaining peace to build a life with Sumit. When part 1 and part 2 are viewed together, place them squarely within the premise of the Jenny and Sumit's story is not a fairy tale, nor is it a tragedy. Season after season, complicated, viewers watch human journey sacrifice familiarity even after the cameras stop. And even